All right. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, everybody, to the Mike and Brad Show. I'm Brad.
And I'm Mike.
So, look.
Who else could I be if it was the Mike and Brad
You
show?
could have been Tom.
That would be crazy.
Tom,
and they would never know because they never met him.
Yeah, and Tom, our producer, did not show up today. We've done, 3 episodes? He's already bailed. He said, for some reason, us paying him in a can of bubbly, sparkling water wasn't enough for him.
I don't think we even gave him a can of bubbly.
I did last week.
All right.
Out of the kindness of my heart. But that wasn't enough.
I was gonna say I don't remember signing off on that expense.
I'll send you a bill.
I was like, what's wrong with the sink in the bathroom? Really?
So I guess
what's he really do anyways?
Seriously.
Yeah.
He's got a job and kids.
He's like for the behind the scenes type thing. He's just in the background going like this.
Yeah, basically. Well, we're saying that right now. There's probably no audio. The angle's probably screwed up. But anyways, welcome to the show. Look, because there really hasn't been anything big in the news.
Oh wait,
this
thanks
week.
to Brood Awakenings.
Shout out to Brood Awakenings. You just killed my joke. But anyways, yes, shout out to Brood Awakenings.
Was you gonna say something about Brood?
No.
All right, good.
I'll explain later.
Yeah.
There really hasn't been much going on in the world, so we're going to jump right into a taste test. As our tradition is on the show, every week we've been doing a taste test, and Mike has surprised me today. I didn't know what the taste test was. I saw these bags, I figured we were doing cheeseburgers, but no, big surprise, and I'm very excited about this.
Giant, yeah, of course, because tons of people, not only with families, but many comics are poor. And this is their staple meal. Their staple meal. And everybody argues about, who is the best or whatever. So we're not going to be, it's not a challenge. We're going to sample them and give you our personal opinion on each one. And then you judge for yourself based on our professional opinion.
Let me ask you this question. Well, first let's tell them what it is.
Yeah, it's chicken nuggets. We bought chicken nuggets from Wendy's, Burger King, and McDonald's. I'm figuring that's the big 3.
Yeah.
I mean, of course we can go further with all the other ones, but no,
whatever.
these are the big 3.
And at McDonald's, they're chicken McNuggets, of course. At
Burger King went real cheap with just the bag.
Oof. What do they call them at Burger King and
They're
Wendy's?
all called nuggets. They
But
call
they're
them
just called chicken?
everybody calls them nuggets.
Yeah, but this is
these are
McNuggets.
McNuggets.
Whoa. All right, so let me ask you this question before we begin. Are we supposed to do this blind?
No.
We're just going to
You're
just straight
going
up
to
eat
taste
it.
it, and
All
then
right.
we will pick our favorite and explain each one and how you feel about it.
Now, you brought a sauce.
A sweet and sour sauce because
Okay.
that's the main one everybody gets.
I like
and that's the one people set places on fire if they run out of. And you see it all the time on YouTube
That's
and everything.
reason-
Yeah, they're jumping over the counters. They're grabbing people through the drive-through windows if they run out of sweet and sour
Totally
sauce.
reasonable.
Hmm?
Totally reasonable behavior. I
don't blame. Personally, I don't blame them.
This is a no judgment zone here on the Mike and Brad Show. So we're gonna do. Are we gonna do each without the sauce or just straight to the sauce?
I think we should, I always taste everything, Brad, without sauces,
Okay.
without stuff,
All right, let's
because
do that.
that's the true flavor. It's like eggplant parm.
Okay.
People say, all the Italians are big on eggplant parm, eggplant. Eggplant is the worst vegetable
does
on
nothing
earth.
for me.
They just, it's horrible, but they like it. Oh, you gotta try my eggplant parm. Oh, describe your eggplant parm. You fry it, number
Right.
one.
Mm-hmm.
You load it with sauce. You load it with
cheese.
cheese. You load it with cheese on top of the cheese. Of course it's gonna taste good.
Yeah, you could put that on my arm. It would probably taste good. You know what I always say when they're like, "Try my eggplant parmesan." I'm like, "Have you ever tried it with chicken?" That's probably a better bet. Nobody. I mean, you could put.
So
why
we
not
will
just
be
use a
tasting
carrot?
naked chicken nuggets.
Why don't you try my carrot parmesan? Listen, let's get into it.
Let's try the Wendy's first.
We're going to go with Wendy's first.
We'll do the same one at the same time.
All right, Wendy's. We're beginning with Wendy's. Shout out to Dave Thomas.
Now, did you know, Brad,
Okay.
that Dave Thomas, who started Wendy's, he's the man behind the success of Kentucky Fried Chicken.
I did not know that. You learn something new every day.
He basically took Kentucky Fried Chicken from the trunk of the car of Colonel Sanders to what it is today. And
Does he get money from the KFC?
And he took a bite out.
Oh,
He
okay.
took
So
a buyout.
all
He
right.
took a buyout and started Wendy's.
All right, now let's.
And
I
Wendy's
wanna-
name's after one of his daughters.
I want to learn some. I want to make sure we learn as we go. Since we're just starting the Mike and Brad show, this is our third episode. Let's try to do one bite at a time, because last time I was editing when we were eating Popeyes and Chick-fil-A, and we have these very nice, fancy microphones I bought,
You know,
and
for a
all I
while-
could hear was a disgusting mouse chewing, and I'm like, the three people listening have tuned out at this point. Which reminds me,
I'm already chewing.
Mike's wife hates when he chews. That's what he told me recently.
My wife hates that I breathe.
I mean, it is kind of obnoxious.
She's
that
got a
you-
problem with me breathing. I
It
didn't
is a
tell you
little
this.
obnoxious that you breathe all the time.
Having
Mike. It's
said
driving
that,
us
the other
crazy.
night I fell asleep on the couch, on the recliner, right? And she got up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. Now, normally when I sit and watch TV on the recliner, it's up all the way back, and I'm really chilled out. But for some reason, the recliner was in a regular chair position, and I was sitting up straight up, like, and I fell asleep. And it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. She got up to go to the bathroom. She got up and she saw me, and she said, "This is it."
She thought you were dead.
I guess she thought I was
because
dead.
nobody sleeps like this.
She said I was exactly like that. And she said she touched me to see if I was
Oh,
cold.
yikes! Well, if I keep eating this shit,
Why? I said, why? You don't have a mirror to put under my nose?
Wow.
She said she legit touched me. That was after she called the insurance company. But she, she touched me to see if I was cold.
speaking of cold, these nuggets are getting cold. So let's keep it moving. So we had the Wendy's. It was fine. I don't know. It was fine. Whatever. It's whatever.
Yeah.
We're eating it with no sauce too. So
I-
we're going on to Burger King.
But here's my take on Wendy's. I always
Very
feel,
similar shape and size to Wendy's and Burger
Yeah.
King. The nuggets
And
very
these
similar.
are all manufactured shapes, by the way.
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I don't taste that much of a difference from the
No.
Wendy's. Do you?
They both have the same texture. They both have pretty much the same,
They look similar. They feel
taste,
similar.
yeah.
Taste similar.
Wendy's seems to be a thicker, but they're, but I don't know if this is gonna sound crazy, but I always, when I think of Wendy's, I think they go a step further than the other brands.
Well, they have
Because
to
they cook
try
their
because
burgers
they're
fresh.
they're in third place, right? I mean, is it still McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's as far as a success? That's how I've always viewed it. Is that the case? I feel like Wendy's has to try harder because they're always trying to catch up. You know what I mean? They're
I
the
don't know
bronze
if you knew
medalists.
this. I don't know if you knew this also, Bab, but Burger King and almost all Wendy's branches are privately owned, and
did
a
not
lot of
know
Burger
that.
King are corporate owned.
I don't want to say that Wendy's is like the RC Cola, but it's not. You know, it's like Coke, Pepsi.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is,
You know what I'm saying?
I always have, because they cook their burgers with fresh meat, it's not frozen, never frozen. I always feel they
I
go.
think they're paying him. That was literally a slogan from the ad.
Yeah, exactly. But because they hammered it home. So I feel that they go a little step further. It is a little pricier than the other brands too.
All right, let's go to all right. So our final nugget. Right now, I'd call
Now
it a
this
tie.
is the standard. McDonald's McNuggets are the gold standard of nuggets, and we're gonna see right now
What all the hype's about.
how they match up to the rest.
Right off the bat,
And they're
The
always
two-
in a circle.
the two nuggets from Wendy's and Burger King look very similar. McDonald's almost looks like plastic. The outside,
But I
it
have
almost
to
looks
tell you-
like plastic to me,
I
or it
have
looks
to
like
tell you, Brad,
a
that's
moon
the best
rock.
tasting plastic I ever had in my life.
it's like a moon rock. Look at this thing.
It's good. It's. I think it's the best out of all of them. That's why they're the
It's-
king.
It is the best nugget.
It 100% is the best.
It is the
and you
best
can
one.
buy like 70 of them for $2.
Sweet deal. I feel like it's the best tasting of the three, and somehow seems the least healthy. Like none of them seem like there's a lot of nutrition, but this seems so bad and so far from real food. Like it's about as much of food as this table. With eating this table probably has more.
However,
nourishment. But
if
it is
you
the
deep
best.
fry
tasting.
this table, I'm eating it.
Put some cheese and marinara sauce on it.
That
Table
question,
parmesan.
and the only question that will remain, Brad, is if I'm cold or warm at 2 o'clock this morning.
All right, so I think we agree. It's unanimous.
Well, no, we haven't said 1, 2, and 3. So I'm gonna go 1 with McDonald's,
I agree, 1 with McDonald's.
and
We gotta stop eating on these microphones.
I'm gonna go 2 with Wendy's and 3 Burger King.
Honestly, I could barely tell the difference, so I'm fine with that for the sake of agreement. and
Wendy's is a
unity
little
in
thicker.
America.
Wendy's, you can see it's a little thicker.
Unity across America. We're gonna do it. So we're gonna go McDonald's 1, Wendy's 2, Burger King 3, and the fight for chicken nugget dominance. We have determined gold, silver, and bronze. Thank you, everybody.
Congratulations, McDonald's.
Congrats, McDonald's.
Congratulations, McDonald's. I think you have a future. In fact,
I think they're going places. It's catching on. Have you heard about the Happy Meal? All right, we're going to stop chewing on camera because it's obnoxious. Now, speaking of the gold, silver, and bronze, Mike Murray, the Summer Olympics are coming. How excited are you? It's so funny talking about it because it's hard to even pretend to care about the Olympics as an American. Last week we talked about the Copa America, the soccer tournaments going on, which clearly nobody cares. The Olympics, I'd almost say you care even less. We care so little about the Olympics as Americans. For like 5 minutes, people pretend they care about swimming because of Michael Phelps. They're like, oh, he won 1 million medals and he smokes weed, so that's cool. Nobody watches swimming. Nobody actually cares.
actually, Brad, my wife can't wait. I think
She loves it?
I think women like watching. I'm not in a sexist content, right? Women like, especially the Summer Olympics. She loves the gymnastics, and she's been watching the trials and everything.
She's into it.
Yeah,
We found
dude,
the one American
She's been
fan.
controlling the TV. I mean, I get the worst TV. I get the chair that I don't want to die in, right? Because she's watching, what's the girl's name? Simone Biles or something like that. Absolutely loves her. She's married to an NBA player.
I did not know that she
She's
was
like
married.
3 feet tall, and she's got this crazy
Yeah, she's
flip
like the
that's
big-
actually banned. And she can't do it because it's so dangerous. It's like a quadruple flip.
We should try it next week. I think next week, whatever
That's why I
the
think we
banned
should do a challenge.
gymnast move that.
So we will be doing
is it
the show
Simone?
from launch.
Is her name Simone? Are we gonna? Is it Simone? Is that what it is?
I think it's Simone Biles.
Mike almost never pronounces a word or a name correct, but
Because the fact I don't even know, I'm probably 100% correct.
All right, I'm going to go with it. So next week, Mike will be, tune in next week, Mike will be performing the banned Simone flip that's banned from the Olympics because it's too dangerous.
Too dangerous.
We're going to load him up on chicken
How
nuggets.
dangerous could it be if a little chick can do it?
So, look, I stand corrected. I said no Americans care about the Olympics. I stand corrected. One American is very excited for the Summer Olympics.
Kathy
and
Murray.
that is Kathy Murray. Congratulations to you. This is your big
loves
season.
the Summer Olympics.
I want to like it because there's actually sports in it that I care about. I never know when they're on, though. For example, I am 90% sure that skateboarding is now a Summer Olympic event. I would love to watch countries compete in skateboarding. I never know when it's on. It's on a million channels. Every time I look for something, it's some bullshit like curling or whatever, although that's a winter sport. But it's something stupid like that. Like, oh, this guy stands on his head. It's headstanding or whatever. It's like some stupid shit no one's ever played. And I never catch basketball, which I love basketball. And then I like, is judo in the summer or is that in the winter?
Yeah, it's in the summer.
I like that. I never catch it.
Yeah, no, you made a good point, Brad. You talked about skateboarding, which is an X game. If you watch the Olympics, even winter or summer, more and more X sports are making it into the Olympic Games.
Which is cool.
When snowboarding first came out, I was like, this is just a fad. It's going to go away. You're hard pressed to see even anybody on skis at a ski slope.
Skis are lame. They're lame. Snowboarding is way cooler. I've tried both. I'm terrible at both. But the thing with skis that drives me crazy is because they're so long. You put them on, dude, they're like 50 feet in the air. They're so long, and there's two disconnected.
The longer they
so
are,
my
the
legs,
faster you
my
go.
legs are like this, and these
Yeah.
things are going everywhere. I'm surprised I didn't break every bone in my legs. At least snowboard's just like one thing, and you're attached to that one thing, and you fall. You fall on it. The skis, you're all tied up like this, and the thing just sticking. They suck, and they're lame. They don't look cool at all. And as you can tell, I'm a big image guy. Speaking of looking cool, Mike is sponsored today by Yorker Shoes. In case you forgot that Mike's 400 years old, he's got a Yorker Shoes shirt on, which he bought.
I've been a
ironically-
customer since 1949. I went in there and had a beef with them. Not really a beef. I'm a loyal customer. I do buy my hookah shoes. I think that's how you say it, hookah or
Yeah,
hookah?
hookah shoes. You smoke them after you wear them.
Yeah, so so I buy my hookah, haka,
Mike
whatever you
picks
want
up
to call
his
it.
hookah boots.
The bottom line is the greatest sneaker ever made, ever. And they're very pricey, Brad. I don't know if you know that. They're $170 a pop.
Well, hookahs charge big money these days.
So anyways, you spend $170, they give you a fancy shirt.
Whoa.
Anyways,
$170.
so I go in there.
to
My
get one of
kids
those
bought me a
stylish-
$100 gift card. So I went in there and I picked out my shoes because they have me on their computer. They know exactly what size, everything I get. So it's very simple, very very fast procedure. However, even though I had it on my phone in the email from Yorker Shoes that they had, I had a $100 gift card with my kids bought. There was a problem they had on their end at the store where they couldn't locate that email on their program, but it was clear that was on mine. It was clear that was from, and I was making the argument like, hey, well, maybe that's something you could figure out after I leave.
Yeah,
because
just let me
it's
get my
clearly-
let me get my hookah
Yeah,
shoes
I'm not-
and get out of here.
I'm not going out there trying to.
Show him your hookah shoes. Can you show him? I know we don't have a cameraman. Tom did not show up. Yeah, do a full split. Look at those. Totally worth $175 or whatever you just
Well,
said.
the new
he paid
pair.
for.
This is my second pair, Bradford.
Your
I bought-
microphone thing looked like an ankle bracelet from the FBI when you threw your leg up like that.
I have a pair that I wear for just shows. I don't know if you noticed. I had on the other night. They're lighter, they're whiter, and so I wear those just for shows. But I used to have feet problem, and I haven't had any feet problems since wearing these. So I'm hugely loyal to them. So make a long story short, you interrupted me. The people of America want to know the whole story.
Oh, I'm sure they're fucking itching.
And how
They
I was
itching
able to
get
score
in
this beautiful shirt.
there. They're on the edge of their seat.
So this went on, Brad, and I'm not exaggerating, about an hour and 15 minutes. But I was cool. I kept my cool. Now, normally, I'm a hot-headed guy. I don't have patience of, and my wife will tell you I do not have patience.
I'm
But
aware
I
of
was for some crazy reason, I was very calm. I just sat down, went on my phone, just waited, and they kept coming to me. Was still trying to figure it out. I'm like, no problem, and they kept thanking me for my patience. And make a long story short, they found it, they figured it out, and then they asked me what size t-shirt I wore, which I'm not disclosing to the, to the general public.
It's a medium.
Extra medium. And so they said they came out with not only a t-shirt, Brad, which they were giving away to everybody who bought Hocus.
Yorker Speedo.
I got a hoodie.
Oh, yeah.
I got a
Yorker hoodie,
which
baby.
I will be wearing during the winter season of Mike and Brad show.
I believe
In the Winter Olympics.
I believe Eminem on the cover of his new album is wearing a Yorker Shoes hoodie. That's how stylish those are. Speaking of which, have you heard the new Eminem album?
What kind of dig is that at me? I don't follow music.
you
I can't
do- all right.
understand. I can't
So,
understand
Mike, here's what's
humans
confusing to
talking. He talks 100 miles an
That's
hour.
true. What's
So what I do
confusing-
is I Google the lyrics.
Okay, so what's confusing to me is because Mike will say, well, I didn't listen to music back then, I was deaf. I didn't watch Beverly Hills Cop when I was a kid because I was deaf. I get it. But he's had his hearing now for 20 years. And he's a huge Bob Seger fan, which, if you're not aware, is a musician. So once in a while, I think maybe he's heard some shit. That all being said, I really wanted to love the new Eminem album. I really did. Now, that's not I'm knocking on the old guy like I did to Eddie Murphy last week. Unlike Eddie Murphy, Eminem stays working and stays hungry. So let me just finish my point. And some of his recent albums were incredible. His album Kamikaze was unbelievable. So it's awesome to see a guy his age still out there killing it. Obviously one of the most talented rappers ever. I just wasn't too crazy about the album. That being said, going back to Mike Murray.
Is it your goal, Bradford, to just piss off every Mike and Brad fan that we have?
What are you talking
Last
about?
week, we were in agreement on the Eddie Murphy
Right.
thing. But we got some major backlash on it when we posted it out there.
Yeah, but you
People
know
were
what? Mike McCarthy. Mike
And now
McCarthy.
today we're going after Eminem.
Yeah, but if you heard everything I said he's unbelievable. I said some of his recent albums were incredible. I just didn't like this. I'm not saying Eddie Murphy. I said he hasn't been funny since like 1989. Eminem's still incredible. It's
Yeah.
not a knock on Eminem. I
But
just
you
wasn't
were
crazy about
disappointed then.
This specific album, I wasn't
Well,
crazy
from what
about.
I'm reading, even though I haven't listened to it, from what I'm reading is a lot of people, and this is what I'm reading, were so excited about the album and still excited because it was sounded like the very first, what was the album that it was very, very popular?
Well, his first big one was the Slim Shady LP, and
Slim
this is
Shady,
called
that's
The
what
Death
they
of
kept.
Slim Shady.
They said Slim Shady's back, and everybody's happy about that because it really kind of showed him. And he's like 50, 60 years old
Yeah,
now.
he's still incredible.
So, and he's still killing it in the rap game. And that's it. I mean,
It's like a conceptual, like I think they're trying to tell a story. Look, I only listened to the whole album once straight through. I'm going to listen to it more this week. Maybe I'll have different thoughts next week. To me, it just didn't do it for me. But again, some of his most recent work, I've really loved. So this is not like a, hey, I'm not a hater. I'm like, a lot of these guys are like, oh, he hasn't been good since Slim Shady LP or since whatever. No, I'm not like that. He's made a lot of good music over the years. Some hits, some misses, but he's still grinding. I wanted Eddie Murphy to keep grinding and stand-ups. Not every joke's gonna hit. But anyways, circling back to the Eddie Murphy and how some people disagreed with us when we knocked Axel F. A good friend of ours, Mike McCarthy, a fellow comedian, after he watched our review, he said, you know what? I will say this. It was a good movie, but you guys were right. When I thought about it, I really wasn't laughing. And that was our only point. All right, moving on. We talked about a little bit about Olympic sports and judo, and we were getting into some violence, which I want to talk how today they launched the series finale of the show Cobra Kai. And that's pretty big. I'm excited to watch it. Before I ask you about all things Karate Kid, how fast can you name 5 Summer Olympic sports?
oh, that's easy.
Hit it.
Swimming, basketball, field and track, decathlon. That's a lot of it. I covered it with just one category.
Track and field. Track and field, not
The
field.
most dangerous sport in the Olympics is javelin catching.
Did you just say javelin? Yeah, it's not for the faint of heart. All right,
It's just basically long dots.
So start again, quick. Do it again.
Basketball, gymnastics, that's it.
Track and field.
Oh, marathon, I guess. Running,
Isn't that track and field?
track and field, yeah.
I think that's 4. I think.
How
You
about
said
you?
a lot of different words. I don't know. Is that because swimming? When do they throw the discus? Are they still
That's
throwing
track
that?
and field.
Are they still throwing the?
Yeah.
Why
The
do we
hammer.
have to have the discus, the hammer, the shot put, and the javelin? How much shit do we have to throw? Like these sports.
It's like, think about
These
what were the origins
Dude,
of
these
this?
sports are like
It was
10,000
just
years
looking
old.
around and saying, hey, what can I throw?
Like we have basketball now, we have MMA now, we have all this cool stuff, and they're still just throwing a big rock, essentially, like a caveman. At some point, we don't need you to throw.
Yeah.
They're throwing a spear as far as they can. That's not a sport, dude. It's a way to kill a buffalo.
Even Kathy Murray's not sitting around waiting saying, I can't wait for the shot put. This Olympics. Oh my
Kathy's
God.
like, Mike, shh. He's about to throw the discus. Dude, why? Like, it's so many stupid.
And the best thing about the discus and the hammer and all that is the grunt.
Oh yeah.
The grunt
Yeah, well, it
and the
helps.
build up to it. I actually have a friend, Paul Kordick, who was actually one of the best outdoor track guys around in New England. No joke. He got free rides to college and everything. And he, I think, set all kinds of records for the hammer throw and everything in high
So
school.
now there's a hammer and a shot put and a discus and a javelin. What's the hammer? Does it look like a hammer like you
No,
can
the
do
hammer,
carpentry?
the hammer is the ball, like a ball and chain type thing. And
This
they,
is seriously
they
like
spin
Roman.
it,
Yeah,
and
it's literally like
and
Roman
they spin
Empire
it, and
shit.
they spin it, and then they let it go. It's like David.
And you yell, "This is Sparta!"
If you ask me, David was the original hammer throw.
David is probably, they could have probably probably wrapped up the Olympics with David.
And I think
moved
that's
on.
probably where it came from, too. You know what I mean? Maybe they was just giants all the time. And like, wow, they're pretty good at throwing that thing.
Yeah.
I know. Let's
know how
make it
to-
a sport.
I know how to beat the Giants. You throw a javelin at them, you throw a spear, a hammer at them, and if you can't hit them with something heavy, you swim away from them. That's all it is, escaping Goliath.
Did you know, Brad? Of course, you must know the Olympics started in Greece.
Right.
That's where it all originated.
Great
you know
dressing.
do you know the first Olympics? Everybody was naked. They competed naked.
Now, look, if we're going to have all these boring sports, at least have them be naked. Why not keep that? If we're still
Now,
throwing spears,
I would watch that.
Dude, we're all tuning in for Naked Olympics. Bring it back. If they're all going to be new, put a little leaf on their crotch or whatever. Adam was
They
the
don't need
first
that
performer.
naked. Nothing.
That's it. Naked Olympics. Bring it back. You
It's
heard
like,
it here first. on
it's
Mike
like,
and Brad Show.
he's not really throwing that discus that bit, but look at the hammer on that.
Speaking of hammers. All right. So, man, my voice is holding
Maybe
on.
that's why
How
Kathy's
bad do
tuning
I
into
sound?
the Olympics.
She wants to see those guys in Speedos. That's why she's watching it. How bad does my voice sound? I lost my voice last week. Does it sound all right?
Sound
to you?
like what's that guy?
I feel like I sound like I smoked every cigarette in Rhode Island.
What's the name of
this
the
morning.
singer who sang like in the
Exactly.
rewrite?
I don't know what singer you're talking about, but my voice is just starting to come back. And I was like, maybe I'll wait. And Mike said, no, the fans need to see another episode. Let's get it going. So I'm
You
here.
sound like you smoke Camels unfiltered.
All right, we left off at. We got to get through this because we don't want this to be 2 hours long. Cobra Kai comes up now. I have a feeling you haven't seen Cobra Kai. Is that true?
No, I have watched.
Oh, you
Cobra
have
Kai.
watched it. So
and I
the
thought it
series
was
finale tonight.
hysterical. I thought it was what I enjoyed most about Cobra Kai was they made the good guy the bad guy.
Yes, it's perfect.
But what drives, and as you know, it's the little things that drive me crazy, that make me laugh the hardest, is stuff like the advertising, the billboards, all the commercials they do within it.
Because Daniel's so
Oh,
corny.
it makes me laugh so hard.
Yeah, because they make Daniel so corny.
And
now everyone's rooting for Johnny, the villain from the original. That show should just be called The Johnny Show. Because if you remove that character, it's unwatchable. It's like Lifetime television. It's very cheesy. I do like that they're self-aware. They know they're making a cheesy show. It's like watching Saved by the Bell, but with karate. It's like very cheesy.
That's a very good analogy. But
Thank you. It's like a throwback kind of vibe. But Johnny's what makes the show, and I'm very excited for the series.
and I don't think he did anything since Karate
He's
Kid.
just been waiting for a phone call for 40 years, just waiting. Like,
Drinking past blue ribbon. Right?
He just
I think all that part is
caused
like all
banquets.
true of his real life.
yeah, cause banquets?
Yeah.
Definitely.
And he just gets that call and like, I'm in.
He's like,
I'm in.
finally.
Yeah,
He's sitting
finally.
there watching the Olympics, waiting
Yeah.
on his tube TV, waiting for a call on his rotary phone. But so we'll have to give you some feedback on what we thought of the final season. It came out today. We'll be watching it, and we will report back next week on the final season of Cobra Kai.
Is it on Netflix?
It is on Netflix, who are not a sponsor of this show, but Yorka Shoes did give Mike a free
Yucca
t-shirt.
Shoes doesn't even know I'm promoting them. They don't even know I'm promoting them here.
Yorka Shoes. Me and our friend Mike Keller, owner of the
Yorka
Comedy
Shoes,
Bus,
we're
trying to-
so
Yorka
1950.
Shoes, Yorka Shoes.
Old people love us. Come on down.
That's how it goes. Old
You
people.
want some Velcro sneakers? We got 'em. Come to
Yorka
Yorka
Shoes.
Shoes.
If you could barely
Shoes.
walk, if you can
Shoes.
barely walk, we have the shoes for you. We were trying to. remember the
Everybody was
jingle
in
today.
there was like wearing orthopedic shoes.
Oh, yeah,
No joke.
100%.
I was like the youngest person in there. No joke.
100%.
No joke. There's no stairs, no ramp or nothing. It's ground level. You could just walk right in, and then they have somebody take care of you right away. Old people everywhere. So I mean, everybody seemed to have a caretaker with them too, except for me.
Yeah. Well, Mike
Yeah,
takes
my
care
wife
of
was
himself.
not with me. I went by myself.
You didn't bring your nurse. Huh? So the only other stuff I had for local news is this is the third week in a row where I've heard that someone drove into a building. So someone drove into a building in Garden City, I guess, yeah. This
When,
is like becoming
yesterday?
a reoccurring theme. It was this week. I had it in my
Well,
notes.
I think it's
so
an
every week in
because
traffic
it's an
news.
Olympic sport now.
That I would watch. Driving into Dunkin' Donuts, driving into
Up
building.
next, we have Gladys. She's driving
She
a
just left York.
1982 Buick LeSabre
She
convertible.
she just left Yorker shoes and
No,
she
and
took
this
a wrong
is-
turn.
And she's picking up speed right now, and this is the point where she's with muscle memory is gonna forget which one's the brake, which one's the gas.
And she just landed in Planet Fitness. So otherwise, in other local
She
news,
just crashed into Yorker shoes. That never happens. It's always a Dunkin' Donuts.
and finally, in local news, the Big Blue Bug has turned 44
I
years
hate the
old.
big blue bug.
I
I
knew you'd have an
absolutely
opinion.
hate the big blue bug.
I knew
I
you'd have an
don't
opinion
get
on
it.
Why do you hate the Big Blue?
I just don't. And for people at home, the big blue bug is a giant termite on Route 95, and his name
big
is
thing in
actually
Rhode Island.
his name is actual Nibbles Woodaway. That's his real name.
He appeared in Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, it appeared in Dumb and Dumber, and that was the greatest moment of its time. And then what I don't like about it is they keep decorating this
Yeah,
thing
Christmas
every
they
holiday.
decorate him as Rudolph.
And
they put a big red
It's
nose.
just they put like horns. Oh, come on.
Yeah.
It's just a pain. And I don't know if you knew this, Brad, but like that's grandfathered in. You can't just open up a business and put a giant bug on the roof to get advertisement. Did you know that?
Like, what if, like, so we're here at Brood Awakenings, so Dave couldn't put a giant coffee cup on the top of the roof? Why
he
not?
does have the giant coffee cup on the Phoenix Ave one.
Right.
The Pontiac Ave Brood Awakening.
Well, that's more of a
But
sign.
because the sign was already there.
Ah.
But if he wanted to say put a giant coffee cup on top of this building,
So if Dave was like, hey, I want to put 2 statues of Mike and Brad for the Mike and Brad show on top of my building.
which
No, not
should
allowed.
be a petition going around to get that.
100%.
But he cannot do that. No.
Why?
It's almost it's
Like an eyesore?
because everybody would do it. You would have.
That'd be awesome. Giant bugs and Godzilla.
We'd be like, you ever see South of the Border down?
yeah.
it would be like that.
It's an
Every
eyesore.
town would be like the South of the Border, which would be awesome.
It'd be like something out of Idiocracy.
It'd be like we'd be like living in a Lego town.
Yeah, like remember Idiocracy? That's kind of how the cities look with all the
Yeah,
corporate
everything
shit
would
in it.
have something giant on top of it, and I get it, and for that reason, you're seeing a lot of certain towns you can't have certain. I'm talking like knowledge, like this is knowledge. I'm learning you something. I'm gonna learn you something today. So you ever go like to New Hampshire or Maine? You're in a little small town, you see McDonald's, and you'll basically just see an M, real small, because they can't have that commercialism. It would ruin
Yeah.
the neighborhood. And if you bought a home on the east side or something like that, you can't just paint it. You got to go to the town board. They got to agree. You can't even change a doorknob or a light on the outside of your house because you have to maintain the character of the neighborhood. So, but I do see the reason for the, no putting giant things on top because we would have giant everything.
But there should be a Mike and Brad statue on top of Brood Awakenings. Listen, we got to go. We've covered so many topics. We basically covered the biggest stories.
learned
of
a
America.
lot of the world.
We did. We covered the biggest stories of the week by far.
I
don't think we left anything out. Nothing big happened at all this week.
But I think
that
what
we
we're gonna
didn't
do,
cover.
we're gonna also make a major announcement right now. Starting next week, we're gonna add a new segment. It will be weekly, and it will be stock tips.
Oh,
by Mike
yes,
Brad.
that's coming
Stock
soon. I
tips.
forgot about that.
We will be purchasing stocks ourselves, Brad.
Yes. As you know, Mike and I are 2 financial advisors and financial experts who have made millions
Whatever
of
we
dollars.
say to do, you should do.
100%.
You should sell everything you have, take loans, max out your credit cards, and whatever stock that we tell you to buy, we're gonna short companies everywhere.
Oh, you better believe. So stay
You ever watch The
tuned.
Big Short? Yeah, watch the Mike and Brad
Oh,
show. They
yeah.
have nothing on us. We're gonna give you tips, suggestions, and we're gonna also be offering the company's suggestions on how to maximize their profits to their shareholders.
Because we're here to help.
Yeah.
Thank you for tuning
So
in.
I can't wait for Mike and Brad's stock tips.
Thank you. See you next week.